Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie and welcome to my 250 subscriber Q&A. I asked my followers on Twitter to send me in some questions. I wanted to celebrate 250 because 500 is a big subscriber mark for me and 250 is halfway. I was also very lucky to be shouted out by Nicole from A Beautiful Chaos of Books recently, and now my subscriber count has jumped by a couple dozen. So I'm just blown away right now by the amount of growth my channel has received just within the last month. Alright, now without further ado, let's get into the questions. I've looked ahead of time at what some of these questions are and it kind of makes me nervous because I have no idea how to answer them. Got my handy dandy phone book. Handy dandy phone. Let's go with that. Alright, With Cinnamon Please asked, if you could have a party at your house with 5 book characters, who would you invite? Ooh. Okay, so it's going to be a party, so I want someone who's going to live it up. I don't want any Debbie Downers at my party. But I don't want all 5 characters to be super crazy and super out there. We still want to have fun. We don't want things to get too crazy where it ain't fun no more. I'm going to go with... Dang, this is a lot harder than I thought it would be. And all my favorites are over there on that shelf, and I can't really see it. I'm going to go over there. When I was choosing these, I noticed that they were all males, so I had to mix it up a little bit. I think this list of characters that I settled on would be great to hang out with at my party. Okay, so we're going with Jay Swalen from the Mortal Instruments, William Herondale from the Infernal Devices, because I think those 2 characters in our room together would be fabulous, okay? And of course, I have to invite CELAENA SARDOTHIEN, okay? And in order to have another female in the group, let's go with Lysandra, because those 2 girls are already friends anyway. So, one more. I have like 2 characters that I want to choose, but I can only choose one. I'm going to go with Noah Shaw from the Mara Dyer trilogy. Alright, that's my 5. Bookish Drama asked, what is your favorite and your least favorite word? What's the biggest number of books you've read in a month? I think the biggest number of books I've read in a month is like 13, at least since I've like kept up with my numbers. I don't know what my favorite word would be. I don't have a favorite word. I would say though, my least favorite word is the F word. I don't cuss, I don't use curse words, so I don't even feel comfortable saying this word, but it's like my most hated word of all. Most words don't bother me, but for some reason, the F word just makes me feel... I don't know. RK Gold asked, what's your favorite pizza topping? My favorite part of pizza is the bread. It's the crust. So, I know it's technically not a topping, but the bread is technically my favorite. Nicole from A Beautiful Chaos of Books asked, what's your favorite book you've read this year so far? I have to go with Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I have fallen in love with that book, and I know some people really don't like it, but I just don't understand. Some people think it's boring, but I'm just like, what? How could you say that book is boring? I don't understand. Your opinions are totally valid. I didn't find it boring at all, so it baffles me that some people think that book is boring, and I'm so excited to finish out this trilogy. I still have to read the second book, Arch Enemies, and then the third book, I believe, comes out this year in September. I'm super excited about it. I also, though, really liked Rebel of the Sands by Alan Hamilton, and I actually just finished reading the second book, Traitor to the Throne. I am loving this series. You should definitely check out both of those series if you haven't already. Kaylee asked, what is the largest amount of pets you've owned at once? Okay, dogs, I think I've only owned 3 at once, maybe 4. No, I think it's 3. I think I've only owned 3 dogs at once, but then I also had... Well, I had a hamster, and then my brother had a hamster. My brother didn't feed his, and his died, and then mine, tragically, okay, here's just like a random little fun but not fun story for you. We went on vacation to the beach. We got back, and my hamster was dead because I had like this, it was almost like a bird cage instead of like a normal plastic hamster cage. And so like it was wired, and my hamster had this little ramp, and she loved to crawl up that ramp, and then it was like monkey bars. She would just like climb across the top and then go back, and it was just like the cutest thing. But when we went on vacation, she had fallen and broke her neck in 3 different places, and obviously she was dead, I was traumatized. Alright, Bookish L asked, your favorite book villain, and how do you get out of reading slumps? What bookish world do you think you would survive in? Oh, I don't know about surviving. Okay, so my favorite book villain. I really like Queen Lavanna from the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I don't know if she's my favorite though. We're just gonna go with that one. How do you get out of reading slumps? Well, I watch TV until I get sick of watching TV. What bookish world do you think you could survive in? I might survive in the Graceling world by Kristen Kishore. I think I could survive in the Fallen Kingdoms world by Morgan Rhodes. I might could survive in the Under the Never Sky world by Veronica Rossi. I think I would die in the Darkest Minds world by Alexander Bracken. I just feel like I would get caught by one of those bounty hunter people and then get turned in and sent to one of those concentration camps. And I don't think I could survive in a concentration camp. I suppose that's enough. That's fine, right? Oh, my coffee's getting cold. That's like the worst. Little Reader's Corner asked, favorite book genre and snack combo. Okay, so I don't eat snacks while I read books. I don't really eat anything if I'm in the middle of a book. But I suppose if I had to eat something, it would probably be like maybe popcorn. I don't know. I don't eat stuff when I read. Does coffee count? Because sometimes I drink coffee while I read. That's about it though. My favorite book genre though, I still say it's fantasy, but I think I read more YA contemporary now than I do fantasy. So I don't know if I can still say that okay, I'm going to stop myself right there. Fantasy is still my favorite. I just don't read it as much anymore. I think it's because there aren't that many good fantasies anymore. Like, I've read all the good ones. At least the ones that I know of. Alright, so my sister-in-law Hannah asked, what age did you realize how much you liked reading, and how do you choose a book out of literally millions? I loved reading when I was a little kid. Like, I have like little awards and badges and like medals and stuff that I won when I was in like kindergarten and 1st grade for these reading challenges that my school hosted. Like, you had to read like 100 chapter books, and then you got like these little degrees like you were in university or college, you know. But then as I got older, reading was uncool, so then I stopped reading, and I didn't realize that I actually liked reading again until I was 16. How do I choose a book out of literally millions? Okay, so I attribute most of this to fellow booktubers and fellow bloggers, because I'll get on Pinterest and I'll find like list of books that bloggers liked, or like if it's like a specific genre, or if you like this then you'll like this. That's how I used to pick all the books that I read, but then I started watching a ton of booktube videos, and I just get all of my recommendations from those, because booktubers talk about new releases, they talk about old favorites, they talk about a lot of backlist titles. So like, even though you're constantly up to date on the new releases, you're also still familiar with the backlist titles. And like, when people talk about their all-time favorite books, you're like, I still haven't read that one yet. I should get to that one soon. Alright, Select Pages asked, favorite book character of all time. CELAENA SARDOTHIEN. I have to go with CELAENA SARDOTHIEN. I have talked about this tons and tons of times on my channel, but I'll talk about it again. I love CELAENA SARDOTHIEN. For some reason, I connect with her character, and I know that's weird because she's an assassin. She kills people for a living. I don't do that. I don't think I could ever do that. I'm not a murderer. But as far as like our history and like, I connect with her emotional trauma, and I know that's like really sad, but I do. Like, I connect with her on a very deep emotional level, because even though I haven't been through the things that she's been through, I've been through things that made me feel the same way as she feels in the series because of her past and her trauma that she's been through. Joey asked, what's a quote you love? And for this, I'm assuming that she means a book quote. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she means just any quote in general. But I'm just going to go with a book quote. It's easy because I have literally my lock screen is a book quote from The Infernal Devices, and it was said by the lovely William Herondale, who is my fictional husband, if you didn't know. Life is a book, and there are 1,000 pages I have not yet read. some reason I love that. If you don't like it, I don't know why. Stacy asked your biggest bookish pet peeve. I'm gonna drink my cold coffee while I think about this and try not to be in disgust. Oh, okay. I hate when it's like the best friends to lovers trope, but the best friend, they've been secretly in love with them this whole time, but they've treated them like garbage, and then suddenly they love them and they've always loved them. I'm like, no. If you loved this person, you would treat them with basic respect and kindness, but you don't. And now all of a sudden, you expect me as the reader to believe that you loved this person this whole time and you just didn't know how to handle your feelings, so you treated them like garbage. I'm not here for that. That gets on my nerves so much. I'm talking to you, Mel from Shadow and Bone. All the lovely books asked a character you see yourself in most. I think that's what she meant. TV, movie, or book. I've pretty much already answered this. I'm just going to go with CELAENA SARDOTHIEN. There's plenty of other characters that I could use for this, but that one's just the easiest go-to. Leah from Lover of Pages asked top 3 favorite books. I can't do this to myself. This, you know, you're a reader. You know how hard it is to choose favorites. Like, these are my babies, okay? Let's go with favorite series or maybe favorite authors. Okay, so Cassandra Clare, Sarah J. Maas, and Renee Audier. The Infernal Devices or the More Instruments, I still haven't decided which one's my favorite yet. The Throne of Glass series and the Wrath of the Dawn duology. Those are my favorites. Let's go with those. Oh, and then they also asked the best thing about BookTube. I get to talk about books. I get to show my passion for books without everyone thinking I'm just a complete nerd like in real life. You, my viewers, at least if you're watching BookTube, I assume that you understand the love for reading, that the love for reading is mutual, and you don't think I'm just like a complete nerd with no life who just sits and reads books all the time because they don't have a life and life's no fun for them. That's not how it goes. That's what I appreciate about BookTube. We understand each other's love for reading. Clint asked favorite book of all time, favorite genre, favorite author. I've already answered these, except for the favorite book of all time. I don't have one of those. I can't just choose one. Favorite genre is fantasy. Favorite author, I'm going to go with Sarah J. Maas. It used to be Cassandra Clare up until recently, and then, like, I still love Cassandra Clare's books. I just don't have the, like, emotional attachment to them like I do Sarah J. Maas's books right now. So currently, Sarah J. Maas. And Aaron from Bookish Belle asked, what's your favorite book with mental health rep? I love this question. It's perfect to end on. For this one, I feel like naming a couple because I can. Okay, so recently I just read This Song Will Save Your Life by Leila Sales, and I really love that book. Trigger warnings for depression and suicide though. Also, If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan is one of my favorite mental health books of all time. I talk about it all the time. Also, trigger warnings for depression and suicide. Alright, if you have stuck around for the entirety of this video, I commend you. Thank you for supporting me, and thank you for sending in questions if you sent any in. I hope I didn't miss any. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more bookish content by me. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.